Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your wealth and finances, abundance, prosperity reading. I'm going to start with the charms and we'll complement with the tarot cards. So, what I'll do is dive into the charms first and we'll see where they land, and then we'll kind of see how the story builds. Make sure they're done shifting. Okay. So, in terms of wealth, this is abundance, prosperity in any sense for you, for your kind of lifestyle. I'm going to put that back where it landed because that felt like the right thing to do because I was kind of sitting here in the center of the chart. Same with that one. They're definitely getting me to pause here to make sure they're falling where they need to. So my preamble. So sort of wealth is money, finances, but it could be wealth of happiness, joy, spirit, right? Faith, just kind of career, whatever kind of areas you're focused on now in terms of what wealth means to you. I'm just going to go over this area of the chart again. I wasn't really... Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. I'm just going to tune in a little bit and make sure everything is kind of placed where they want it to go. You seem quite emotional. I don't know if it's related to just your money center, or if emotions are getting in the way, or how you're thinking about money. You may be extremely emotional about money at this time. We got some influence over here, though, and some looking. I'm just trying to see where they wanted this. Okay, looks like they wanted to touch the 2. All right, so we'll get into the cards. We'll see if your emotions here have been triggered, Aquarius, in terms of money, or just maybe your emotions related to money. Your relationship with finances, kind of on the emotional level. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of kind of conversation, a lot of talking. Maybe you're just talking a lot about your finances, but maybe not in the, maybe not using the most positive words. I don't want me to move the cards out of the way. I'll move the bowl out of the way as well, since we're done with the charms. I want to see here. Okay. We kind of have 3 piles going here, 3 areas, so maybe kind of 3 core themes of thought here. I just want to see like what wants to go with what. We're going to move this around a little bit because I feel like these are with these. These charms are actually together, so that's with these cards up here. And then these 2 cards are kind of here. So I'm going to stick on the corner here a little bit, just so I know how they want them to go. And now I'm going, oops, I just kicked the camera. And now I'm going to see where they want to start. I feel like they want the happy news here kind of last, kind of end on this really kind of happy note. So we might be starting over here kind of in the emotional space and kind of tell the story as we kind of flow through here. I feel like the unicorn, where they've kind of isolated some of these charms over here, is kind of where we're going. So we're going to be going kind of clockwise here. Clockwise. Okay, so let's start with the cards first. Let's see what we got here. So we have spiritual growth and ask and receive. So we got some messaging here to tap into your belief system, or to grow a little bit in your trust and belief system, your trust and intuition, your trust in self, that you've got what it takes, your trust in your soul path, your journey, your You're meant to experience this to come out stronger, come out on the better side. And then you have ask and receive. So there's, she's pointing to her throat chakra. So maybe you've been, or maybe you're a personality that generally doesn't ask for help or let people know that you need some help. Or alternatively, maybe that's something you've started doing recently and you've noticed that you're receiving. Because I'm being drawn here to the kind of colors that are surrounding her here. So this could be an activity that you finally embraced. So instead of her pointing to it, so if you're not asking for help yet, she's pointing to asking. But if you are, she has the gratitude, right? The gratitude, sort of the thankfulness of the help that you're receiving, and the knowledge and awareness that sometimes all you have to do is ask, right? For that assistance. So we have emotions are triggered right now by a decision as it relates to your wealth. So something has kind of gone down here. We have some negative talk here, my vampire tea. So this is negative talk, gossip. Someone may not be very happy right now. Maybe you did ask for some help, but you didn't repair or show sort of the sign of gratitude here, because both cards are showing the sign of gratitude. So emphasis here on gratefulness, but there is some negative conversation, negative talk. This could also be your negative talk, right? Negative self-talk, because it is sitting on being emotionally triggered. Some kind of financial decision or decisions kind of have you emotionally triggered here. And then I'm drawn to my lamb here, my little fawn, my little Bambi. And this is like a caution about being too timid, but you have the ask and receive as well. So maybe a conversation needs to be had here, and maybe one person is sort of power player, like talking too much, and the other is kind of quiet. There's this shy kind of tentativeness here. So maybe you're aware someone is upset and you're not discussing it, you're not talking about it, but I feel like these are two people or two parties, two groups. But I'm really focused on the kind of shy tentativeness of my little lamb here, my deer, kind of being you, and sort of maybe there's been some recent negative talk that has kind of made you put some distance here. Now we have my dash hound, which is all about looking for something. My dog here is kind of searching, looking for answers, but kind of all in the wrong places. And it's on see the signs that are there. So maybe you're kind of missing the signs regarding this help or this situation. Kind of feels like a situation here, there's a need to kind of, I don't know if this is like maturity as well. Like, I don't want to say be the big person, but it feels like there needs to be not just spiritual growth, but just kind of growth in self, and kind of being grateful. And but the searching, kind of looking in the wrong places for these signs that are there. So maybe you're not seeing that someone's upset with you. Maybe they're hiding it. Maybe there's some, because this is gossip. So maybe there's kind of talk about you, not to you. And so maybe you're just picking up on a vibe, but you haven't approached them. You haven't just asked them directly. Maybe you're asking everybody else, but you should just ask them directly what's kind of going on. Why are you feeling this vibe from them recently? As again, it coming up in a wealth reading. So this is definitely harming your wealth of joy, right? Your abundance of happiness and joy. If there's some kind of tension here with another person, the dog's seeking, right? Looking. So we do have the ask and receive. So if you're not seeing the signs, maybe somebody else that knows sort of the two parties can kind of weigh in here. And they gave the foundation on barrier in the way and sort of chance for travel, but I really just focus on kind of chance for closing this distance, right? Because I was saying there's distance here between these two people. There's some kind of quietness. Maybe you're just getting silent treatment from someone right now. And I would say that the barrier in the way, definitely tuning into the charm here and how this is going around and around in the same circle. So barrier and way is probably, you've probably been here before. This is probably a situation that you've experienced before with this individual. You know, maybe it's a same financial situation. Maybe it's somebody that either you help them with finances or they've asked you for help, but the solution will cost them money, so they're unhappy and there's some distance. So you feel like they're ungrateful for the help, and they really are, kind of thing. So I just feel like there needs to be like a sit down here. There needs to be some kind of conversation, some clarity, some kind of clearing of the air here. as I clear my throat. Okay. So coming down clockwise, I'm going to continue with the charm just because I can kind of see a story building here with the angels in terms of saying a conversation that needs to happen. I guess you don't want to have it. You already know the answer, and that's making the peace here. And I was saying something up here. I didn't want to say be the bigger person in the situation. I don't think that's the ask of you. I think it's just be the one to initiate this talk, this conversation, the hashing it out, but trying to not be emotional in the conversation. And you kind of already know this is the answer. Like I was saying up here, you kind of already feel this tension, this unspoken, the silence is speaking volumes, right? And you kind of already know that there's peace here that needs to be made. This you recognize this silence. You've been here before, right? See the signs. Look at your signs. The signs are there. It says stay put now. So now is like take action now. So I would, look at the balance of June, and if you can, either find the time or the courage to address this. Stay put. So that means keep focus on this. Don't let this prolong. Get the peace flowing here. Now, big loss is touched by both winter is coming. So this is a coldness. So cold shoulder, and I was saying this prolonged silence. So there is this cold shoulder. Maybe it's coming from both parties. Maybe you're giving it off and they're giving it off. Because I was drawn up here right off the top to say, to start showing this sign of gratitude, right? Both angels were doing it or encouraging you to do it. And the arrow through the heart is this is someone significant. So this could be, maybe this is tension in your relationship or some kind of deep connection you have. So between parties, between with family members, between best friends, close friends, this is a very close relation to you. This situation, one person's hurt and the other person kind of seems a bit oblivious or doesn't really know, but there's tension there. And again, it's related to money. It's related to finances. Maybe this is a loan that's not paid back yet. Maybe they're giving you excuses, and so you're going quiet because you're tired of the excuses, or vice versa. Maybe you owe the money back, but you're not quite ready yet, but you haven't told them, so they're just getting angry about you, but not to you. Again, this is gossip, so they're not talking with you right now. So then we have grow your wealth this way. And we have a new passion or hobby that the strong and beautiful is crossing over. Now, strong and beautiful is the courage to just kind of look at all your incoming sources of happiness, wealth, right? All the good things, all the positive thinking, positive thoughts. What's that source? Or find a new source if it's dried up, right? A new passion or hobby. And it's grow your wealth this way. So if you're making the peace, that's sort of the first step. And then the other step to continue to grow your wealth, like I said, maybe this is to return the loan, is to know that you kind of already know where to look. I think you already know what to do, where you can pull money from. Maybe you have a side gig that you get money from, or maybe you do some kind of extra, maybe you offer help. And one way that people show their gratitude is to kind of toss some money your way, like sort of this piggy bank kind of style that I'm seeing, like with the necktie, the tightness. This is like working away at it. So the wallet's kind of tight, but as you see, if you put a little bit away, like the tie gets longer and longer, right? These bars get longer and longer. So just this encouragement of, you don't have to find a way to have the full lump sum. Take the little coin here that you're making and put some of it away, and it's going to grow. You'll be pretty pleasantly surprised, maybe even how quickly it grows, in order to kind of overcome this situation. And then we have like social gathering, people. This is events, celebration. And it's grow your wealth this way. So I would say this is more looking at your social network, your connections, not to ask to borrow money in order to pay back more money, but to kind of seek out opportunities or doors. What is this new passion or hobby? Maybe they can be the source of that for you. Or maybe they have opportunities where you have the talent or the skill that you can lend them. And like I said, they would show you gratitude in the form of money, or in the form that you need in order to help you with repairing this kind of relationship happening over here. So we have joy and contentment. And that's definitely the headspace that you want to be in. That you're kind of seeking. That's available to you if you're able to kind of make the peace here, master making the peace. And maybe that's why I kind of held these two cards kind of separately, is the story I get visually from them is really sort of her reaching out. Maybe I should put her on the other side, but you got this steadfast individual. They're pretty sure-footed here in their view, so I would attribute them to this individual right now, right? They probably are a more authoritative person in your network. Sort of that connection I was looking at, I was saying like partner, in the partner dynamic, they might be more confident, be more assured. They might be more strict, more rigid as a personality as well. But look at you with your angelic help here, your little birdie in the palm, right? You're reaching out towards them, right? You want to reconnect. You want to change this silence that you're giving them, right? Their mouth is pretty closed. And in doing so, kind of achieving the joy and the contentment here that we were getting off the top, right? Here, this is what's possible. This is the space that you can be in if you're willing to be the one to kind of approach this individual and open the conversation. Because like I said, I keep seeing them talking about, but not to. There's no intention here from them to reach out to you. Yeah, you're wrapped here in green, which I always attribute to wealth, especially when I'm doing wealth readings. But so I would say this is definitely a money matter. Some ask and receive, some help maybe that you asked and received, and repayment maybe, or like I said, just gratitude. There was this emphasis of just showing and expressing some gratitude towards this individual, in order to achieve and get back to this place of more peaceful joy and happiness, more serenity, right? Softer colors, not as vibrant and strong here. This kind of gives me a sense of how strong the emotions are flowing right now here between the two of you. So gather your strength. We have the power of manifestation. So you do have the ability to resolve this. Like I said, you have been here before. This isn't a conversation that you probably have not experienced with this individual. Maybe that's why it's so tough. Maybe you feel like you go round and round and round with them, but you do have the strength to manifest this more positive outcome. You know how to approach kind of the conversation this time from your learnings, right? We have fast cash and remember your gifts, remember your skills. Both of them with urgency. My leopard's all about urgency. So, remember your own ability to probably generate wealth. Remember your own abilities and talents. So maybe don't be spending money if you can do it yourself. It is with the indulgence, my little piggy caution. So maybe money's coming in, and instead of saving it to pay back this person, you've been maybe checking off other things on your shopping list. Like we always have a wish list, right? When I get some money together, I'll get this. But you're kind of putting off the financial situation over here. This isn't being repaired, so you're putting this off, and you're kind of splurging over here. So a little bit of a caution of, focus more on your strength and focus more of putting money away and your ability and your skills here to put money away, so that you kind of build the pool of funds that you can draw from more regularly versus getting the money together and getting the money together. That's sort of how I'm seeing. Like money comes in, goes out, in, out, in, out, instead of just in, build it up, and then start ticking things off your list here. And we have an upcoming gathering that's going to present a new opportunity. And this is with magical moments. This is about reminiscing. So maybe there's like a family gathering that's coming up that's going to help you with remembering and connecting, help you tap into your strength. So we have the power manifestation, and then we have the miracles charm as well. So something's coming up around the corner here that it's going to present to you as an opportunity to probably repair, have this conversation here, right? This might be the opportunity for you to reconnect. And then we have yes and self-acceptance. So this opportunity that's coming up, your power to manifest, your ability to save versus splurge. Your angels really want you to focus. Maybe shift sort of your habits or the way things have been, right? Self-acceptance. I can do this. I don't need to keep reaching out and relying on someone. And maybe that's something you can show this individual, right? This kind of, maybe that's the upcoming opportunities. You'll be able to show them, oh, look, with your help, I was able to get all stable. I got everything done, and I started putting money away, and here's sort of your first repayment. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful, right? There's that gratitude there again, even the way she's kind of holding her face, like receiving the news from you, right? How happy, going from this very strict, strong, quiet demeanor to so happy, like this is the best news I could have heard, right? So there's that positive kind of outcome energy that's coming through here in the messaging, Pisces. But you definitely need to jump on the silence that's going on, this tension. You got to get off this wheel. Go talk to them. Go look, see the signs for what they are, and manifest this positive swing here coming out of the month. So remember your ability to approach these kind of conversations, ability to approach this individual, your ability to grow your wealth, your ability to achieve a more peaceful state, right? And your angels are kind of pushing you down that way. So, just a reinforcement here in June for being grateful for the wealth and abundance and prosperity that you do have, that you receive from others, the help and the support you receive from others, making sure you're voicing that back, because definitely someone here feels a little bit stung. But you're heading down the right way if you can rein in a bit on the eagerness, right? This urgency here, this eagerness to spend the money as fast as it's coming in here. So let's check in July and see how you've been progressing here, Aquarius.